being raped, and it really, really, really messed me up.
I wish that people would treat me how they would treat a married, registered nurse with 2.5 kids in Indiana. That's how I wish people would treat me.
Before we jump into the video, I just want to say that this is a huge trigger warning. If you get easily offended or grossed out, or you don't want to potentially relapse, then I would suggest clicking away from the video. Now, I'm not making this video from a moralistic standpoint in order to, say that anything is bad or wrong, right? I don't really take that view. There is just simple actions and consequences. And by viewing porn and understanding the truth behind the porn industry, once you understand the true truth of reality, then you can make the best informed decision. That's basically it. Now, if you stick to the end of the video, I'll add some additional narrative and some feedback about this whole entire video. Please like it and subscribe. It helps the channel out tremendously. If you like a video like this, I will do more, and try to enjoy.
It's basically the biggest regret that I have working in the adult industry, and I wish I never did it, and they try to exploit women to say things that they have in their lives that they're shameful about, and they basically exploit that, and they make people feel really shitty about themselves on camera. And the scene starts, and right away it's just push, push, slap, slap, split, spit, slut, whore. It was just this bomb of just physical abuse, and...
Are you a slut, Belle?
We'll see about that. How old are you? What do you do, slut?
I'm 18 and I go to college.
What are you doing at facial assault? You must really be a dumb slut. You got a really dumb laugh. Would you shut up?
Stand up.
Wait!
And that's what their goal is. They want to completely ruin a woman on camera, as well as mentally and emotionally. I mean, I was numb, but I just tried to mentally not be there and really disassociate, which, I'm...
More and more aggressive. What impact did shooting 20, 30 scenes in a month have on your body? What did you feel like?
I was constantly going to urgent care. I had to be taken to urgent care, I think more than 10 times. And then the actual emergency room, I had to go there twice. I was constantly getting sick with strep throat, mono, getting the flu,
I was a burned out prostitute and stripper. I was a single mom, addicted to drugs and alcohol. I was the kind of person that the porn industry preys upon. The porn industry preys upon people who are already damaged, so they can damage them more.
That's not how it was. It wasn't just, hey, do you want to come do porn? It was more so, oh, you're beautiful. Would you like to do some modeling? Oh, modeling, things like that. And after I came and toured the studio, it was very respectable. It was a gorgeous location. It was in Miami, in Doral, Florida. It was...
He just saw you, frankly, as a money machine.
Absolutely.
It's days like this where I realize I need to go play with myself for a living. I just ate. I'm tired. And then I think to myself, maybe a 9-to-5 won't be so bad.
And I never felt attractive or worthy of male attention. And suddenly, my first year of college, I start losing all this weight from making small changes. And by the time I graduated, men, and I was never used to it. And I felt like unless I held on to it and kind of did what was asked of me or what was expected of me, it would go away. And after feeling what it was like, that validation and, the compliments for the first time, I did not want that to go away.
Well, I got involved in porn I felt very rejected growing up as a child, so I was basically looking for love in all the wrong places, saying things to me that I didn't hear at home. They were saying, "You are beautiful, you're destined to be a star, we absolutely love you, we make romance movies, if you're ever interested, give us a call."
I was constantly getting sick, and also, with infections down there, like bacterial vaginosis, urinary tract infections, yeast infections, and then eventually, towards the end of my career, I caught herpes.
After about 30 movies, I got burned, and I caught 2 sexually transmitted diseases. One of those diseases was HPV, human papillomavirus, which I had never heard of. And another was a non-curable disease, herpes. And it devastated me. And I tried to kill myself with prescription pills. I didn't care anymore. I had herpes on my mouth, my lips, my throat, my vagina, my anus, everywhere. I was a monster.
I try to stay off of pornography, man. That's one of my biggest arch nemesis is pornography.
Why?
Because it just weakens me. Yeah.
How so?
I put all my sexual, my fantasies and stuff, they're not mine anymore. They live, somebody created them better than my imagination can. And
everyone knows that pornography presents a fantasy world. It creates scenes that are far from the way things actually work. This greatly distorts one's approach to sex and relationship with others. In one study, a review was done of some of the most popular pornographic videos. 88% of them contained violence against women. Even worse, in 95% of them, the women responded in a neutral or positive manner, subtly linking arousal and violence in the viewer's brain.
I get used to watching the sex and seeing it and not having to be engaged with my actual feelings or anything. So then I see it and I still get all the joys out of it. I'm still out there e-jacking and, spraying out natural. But I don't have any of the feelings attached to it. So then when I am engaging with somebody that I care about or something, it just doesn't calculate for me emotionally as well.
As you can imagine, this creates a major problem for men trying to find loving, lasting relationships with women, as their view of women is largely distorted, but it's also the cause of tremendous pain in women as well.
People treat me as if I am a pedophile. They don't treat me like an ex-sex worker. They treat me like I would somehow be damaging to children.
A simple question,
God, that is so simple. I guess, I would, I wish that people would treat me how they would treat a married, registered nurse with 2.5 kids in Indiana. That's how I wish people would treat me.
Post-traumatic stress that is in you from this experience?
Yes, and I think it kicks in mostly when I go out in public, because the stares I get, I feel like people can see through my clothes, and it brings me deep shame. It makes me feel like I lost all right to my privacy. And reading the words of some of these girls who have been sex trafficked and forced into porn, and all of these stories of girls whose lives have been ruined by it, and by men who have taken advantage of them, and by contracts that they didn't even understand the jargon of.
Is it true that it was the first time that you revealed that you were raped when you were 11 years old?
Yeah. Especially to the world. But the first time I've ever said it out loud was on that track, Father's Field. Women and men that are raped do. And I think with me that being raped and it really, really, really messed me up.
post-traumatic stress that is in you from this experience?
Yes, and I think it kicks in mostly when I go out in public, because the stares I get, I feel like people can see through my clothes, and it brings me deep shame. It makes me feel like, it
was the single most traumatic thing that ever happened to me in my life, and it made me insane. It really did. It made me crazy, and that, not that alone, but that and things that happened afterwards, and growing up and being really overdeveloped and being always thought of as the bad girl because of the way I looked. I was always completely tortured with that, and a lot of other things that happened, and then, you know, my parents being apart, my dad being the alcoholic, just like a lot of things.
Trying to get my head around how stressful this must have been, and whether even now, because you sit here so poised and obviously...
I definitely encountered a lot of drug abuse. I myself was hooked on heroin and various different kinds of pills, cocaine, and for a short period of time, crystal meth.
Were you doing that to numb yourself, or were you doing that to get through the scenes? Why were you so involved in drug use?
Yeah, I mean, it started because I was about 105 pounds, and a director told me that I was fat and that I needed to lose weight. So I started using cocaine, and it was just like this instant rush, and it actually helped me get through the porn scenes. So
I didn't know what love was. I didn't even know if I could feel love anymore. I looked at women like objects. There was no emotion involved in the act of making love. What was that, making love? I had to go to work to do the porn so that I could buy the drugs to bury the pain of doing the porn. So I'd go to work and do the porn so that I could buy the drugs to bury the pain. And around it went.
Now, I'm not under the illusion that every single person in the porn industry has mental health issues or has suffered some form of abuse. I mean, it's so cliche, but at the same time, there's plenty of studies showing that's actually pretty true, that there's a high correlation with the amount of women that are in the industry and their lower sense of self-worth, seeking that validation, which stemmed from past abuse, which then gets numbed through drugs. All the different factors that I presented to you are consistent across all porn stars, not just female, but males too. And honestly, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. I mean, outperforming every other entertainment industry by a long shot combined. And so naturally, these guys who are in the industry, by no fault of their own, they just want to make money, right? That's all they want to do. And so these girls are expendable. I mean, there are countless women coming in and out of the porn industry every day. You simply click into a Craigslist list or wherever they market, and they just find so many girls to really market their stuff to. So it's really easy to just see these women as products. It's really easy to see these women as products and not individuals. So I mean, once you can understand the truth behind this, I mean, you should make a correct decision. Like, do you want to support an industry like this? Do you want to fall victim to these obvious, normal consequences of watching porn like it's a drug? The more you engage in it, the lower your testosterone is, the lower your dopamine is, the lower your level of satisfaction from normal things is, because that simple flatline or level of depression kind of seeps up, and the shame only amplifies, which creates more isolation, which creates the whole entire cycle all over again. I mean, these are natural consequences. I'm not saying that porn is bad. I'm not saying that drugs are bad. I'm not saying that anything is bad. I'm just saying that this is the truth. And now that you know it, it's your choice to make an informed decision. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.